main tenses, right? We have basically three main tenses, okay? These tenses are the present, basically, we have the present, we have the past, and we have the future, basically. Present, past, and future. Oh my goodness, I made it up. Okay, now, this present, past, and future have basically three forms. The simple, the continuous, and the perfect form. So we have present simple and present continuous. We have past simple and past continuous. We have future simple and we have future continuous, right? The same way we have present perfect, we have past perfect, and we have future perfect, right? So starting with simple present, only with the simple present. Let's see first all the present tense, okay? When we talk about the present tense, and we start talking about the present simple or simple present, this tense is used to talk about routinary activities, events, or permanent situations. Now, we know that in the simple present, for the first person and the second person, we only use the person, and the verb, right? But for the third person of the singular, we do something else. Who knows? What do we do for the third person of the singular? Nobody? Hello? Anybody there? Hello? Is anybody there? Can you guys hear me? Can't listen. Thank you, Isabel. Yeah. If Isabel can listen to me well, it's because the connection is okay. Probably is your connection, Nick. Okay, well, anyhow, I'll continue. Okay, so I was saying, right? So Isabel, you that can listen to me well, if we said that for the first, second, and third person of a plural, we have the person and the action, right? Like I go, we do, they work, you have. But for the third person of the singular, what do? Well, for the third person of the singular, what we do is that at the end of the verb, we add some suffixes, right? We add some suffixes. These suffixes can be the letter S, the ES, or the IES, right? We add the IES when the verb ends in, do you know what? But probably you cannot write, right? Or you can. Yeah, I guess you can. You're in your computer. For verbs ending in, well, I'll write it. Consonant, Y, right? Consonant. Mhm. When a verb ends in a consonant Y, we use the IES. When the verbs end in the letters S, X, Z, double S, SH, CH, or the letter O, then we add IES. And the S we added for all the other verbs. Okay, so that's the way we do it. So we use the S for third person of the singular, the ES, and the IES. The IES for verbs ending in consonant Y. The ES for verbs ending in S, X, S, Z, sorry, S, S, C, H, S, H, or O, right? Okay, this is when we talk about affirmative form, right? When we talk about the negative form, we use the auxiliaries don't or doesn't. But when we use the auxiliary doesn't, well, in the case of the auxiliary doesn't, we do not use the suffixes, right, in the verbs. Okay, very good. So we use don't or doesn't when we use the negative form, but when we use doesn't, we don't use the suffixes on the verbs. Now, when we talk about the questions follow a specific form. The questions are usually can be information questions. And when they are information questions, they start with a WH question, okay? Then after that, we use the auxiliary. This auxiliary can be do or can be does. Then after the auxiliary, we use the person, right? We say the name of a person, okay, that we are talking about. Then we use a verb, and if necessary, we use the complement. And finally, we end with a question mark, right? If the question is not an information question, but a yes/no question, instead of the WH question, well, we start with the auxiliary do or does, okay? So this is for the simple present. In the past simple, we do practically the same. The rules are more or less the same. But well, before we go to the past simple, we need to remember in the past simple only that we have two different types of verbs. We have regular verbs and irregular verbs, right? The regular verbs are the verbs ending in ed when we write them, okay? And the irregular verbs, well, they change their way they are spelled or they stay the same, okay? Now, When we talk about the past simple, we talk about completed actions or events in the past. Mhm. So that is the past simple. When we talk about the past simple, we talk about completed actions or events in the past. Mhm. Okay, now this says completed. The word completed is very important because if it is not completed, it's not past simple. Then it can be past continuous, it can be present perfect, but not past simple. When something is completed, it's definitely past simple. Okay, very good. So for the past simple, we use the person, okay, and the verb in past. Mhm. The verb in past, all the verbs well, we need to remember that some verbs are regular and some verbs are irregular. So depending on the verb we're using, well, we use the past form of that verb. Okay. So we have the person, then we have the verb, mhm, and we have the complement. Mhm. So that's the way we do it. If we want to say it in negative, what we need to use is the negative auxiliary verb. In this case, the negative auxiliary for the past simple is didn't. Okay. When we use didn't, which is the negative form, well, then the verb goes back to present. Okay. So we say we, for example, or I didn't work yesterday. Perfect. Mhm. Then finally, if we want to make a question, well, questions follow the same pattern as in the present simple. So we need to start with the WH question, then the auxiliary, then the person, then the verb, and then the complement. We need to remember that the verb goes in present because we have an auxiliary verb which is in past. In this case, is did, right? So for example, we said, what did you do yesterday? Hmm? We have auxiliary did, so we have the verb in present do. What did you do yesterday, right? And this would be the past simple, okay? All right. The things get a little bit more interesting when we get to the future. Mhm. We have two types of future. Mhm. We have future simple, mhm, and we have idiomatic future. Mhm. Mhm. Well, before the difference in the future simple and the idiomatic future are the use, the function of these futures. The future simple, we use it for mainly the following situations. First, we use it when we make decisions, mhm, at the moment of speaking. Mhm, mhm. We use it also when we want to make a request, an offer. Mhm. We use it also when we make a prediction, but this prediction has no support. Mhm. It's a prediction based on our opinion only. Our opinion, there's no more. Mhm. So in those cases, we use the future simple. The future simple is when we use the auxiliary will. For example, I say, I will, but I will get some water. Mhm. I will get some water. You say, I will get some water. Probably you're thirsty right now, and you say, oh, I'll get some water. So it means that right now, at this moment, I decided I'll stand up and I'll go get some water. It's a decision that I made at the moment. Okay? Probably I can say, mhm, mhm, it'll rain tomorrow. It'll rain tomorrow. Mhm. I haven't checked the forecast. There are no clouds on the sky, but I think that probably it'll rain tomorrow, right? If I think that probably it'll rain tomorrow, but I have no support. I have no proof that it will rain. Then I use will. It will, right? It will rain tomorrow. And finally, I also uh, I also can use it when I make an offer. For example, will you join us for Terry? So I'm making an offer. Will you join us for the pairing? So this is the future simple. So the difference is that, right? We use will for these things, okay? And it's called future simple. All right. Now, future idiomatic is used, well, when we make decisions before the moment of speaking. It's also used when we make predictions based on proof, well, based on something something we can see, and also for our intentions for the future. Oh, sorry, I didn't write well. Intentions. Okay, so this is future idiomatic. The future idiomatic is the one that we use with going to. Okay, is the one that we use with going to. For example, in the future idiomatic, well, I need to use the verb to be before the going to. So I said, I'm going to, I'm going to travel next week. A trip is something that you don't decide out of the blue. A trip is something that you need to prepare in advance. And because you prepare your trip in advance, then you need to use going to, right? Because it's a decision that you prepare before the moment of speaking. Okay, then we have predictions based on something we can see. For example, let's say that you get out of your house and you see it's very sunny, and then you see it's very sunny, so you say it's going to be a nice day. It's going to be a nice day. And your intentions, for example, for next year, you want to do something next year, is your intention. So you say, I'm going to lose some weight, is your intention. Okay, so that's the way we do it. Okay. Future simple is decisions at the moment, requests, offers, prediction based on our opinion. Future idiomatic is going to, decisions before the moment of speaking, predictions based on something we can see, and intentions. Okay? All right. The negative form of will is want. The negative form of will is want. So I use want instead of will, and that's it. So I said, I won't do this. Okay, I won't take that. In the case of the negative form of going to, well, we use the negative verb be. So we say, I'm not going to. Okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Okay. The questions for will are the same way. For example, what will? What will, let's say, what will you have for lunch today? For example, will you go to the party? And then questions for going to, well, are depending on the verb be. So you say, are you going to? Are you going to? Are you going to take any vacation soon? Are you going to? Okay, that's the case of the simple forms. Okay, so far so good. Those questions. Simple present, simple past, and simple future. All right. I see very poor participation today. Are you guys there? Well, I hope you are there, but I hope you are there and cannot write. Okay, let's continue. Excellent. Let's continue. So, what about the continuous forms? Okay, in the continuous forms, what we use is the verb be plus the gerund of the following verb. The verb be acts as an auxiliary verb, right? And then the main verb goes with a gerund. The gerund is the ing form. The ing form. When we use the ing form, we need to remember that if the verb ends in a consonant, vowel consonant, we double the consonant, right? Like get. When we use the ing, we say get it, or swim. When we use the ing form, we use swimming. So in these cases, we double the last consonant, and it gets with double consonant. Okay. If the gerund goes after letter E, well, we drop the E, right? And instead of that, well, we leave only the ing form. Okay. Like for example, if you say dance, well, you drop the E and you only say dancing. The present continuous, we use it to talk about background or ongoing situations. Okay. Background. Or ongoing situations. Okay, what is a background situation? Okay, a background situation is a situation that is happening at the same time of another situation. For example, when my wife is at work, I'm taking care of the children. That's a background situation. I mean, she's there and I'm doing something else. When I'm at work, my daughter is taking classes. So It's a background situation. It's a situation that is happening at the same time of another situation, okay, or event. An ongoing situation. An ongoing situation is a situation that is taking place in a period of time. It's taking place in a period of time. For example, okay, I am giving classes from 9 to 11. I'm giving classes. It's ongoing. It's happening. It's taking place. Okay? For this, we use the verb be in its different forms and the verb with ing. If it is present, then the verb be goes in present. If it is past, then the verb be goes in past. And if it is future, the verb be goes in future. The verb be controls everything. The verb be becomes the auxiliary verb. Okay? For example, I am teaching English. This is in present. Example, sorry, is present continuous, right? If I say it in past, I said I was teaching English. If I might say it in future, then in future I need to say it with will. So I said I will be teaching English. Is it possible to say I'm going to be? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. It is possible because if it depends on the function. If you say I'm going to be teaching English next year and is your intention, well, then you can say it. But usually this is the way things work. We have the present continuous, past continuous, and future continuous. If we say it in negative, then we change the verb be to negative. So I said, I'm not teaching. You say, I wasn't teaching. And you say, I won't be teaching. And that's the way. When you make it a question, then you say, are you teaching? Was he teaching? And will you be teaching? The same way. In these cases, we have the auxiliary verb first and the main verb second. Remember, the verb be becomes, in this case, the auxiliary verb. Okay? So far, so good. These are the continuous tenses. Continuous tenses were for background or ongoing situations. Background, ongoing situations. Background, ongoing events. Okay? Great. Let's go to the perfect tenses. That's questions so far. No doubts, no questions. Hope no. Nicte. Yes, I have one question. Tell me, Nicte. Everything is clear. Background and ongoing mean the same. No, background and ongoing do not mean the same. How can I show you some? Okay. Ongoing is that is taking place. Okay, so it started at somewhere, for example, somewhere in a period of time, like at 9 a.m., and it's taking place. It's taking place. It's taking place. It's happening. Background is that it's happening at the same time of another event. There is one event happening and there is another event happening, and this one is happening at the same time as this event. It doesn't mean the same. It's just that the that the continuous tenses are used, or the continuous forms are used for those situations, for those moments, for those functions. Okay, that's the use. It's happening when you want to talk about a background situation, you use the continuous tenses. When you want to talk about an ongoing situation, you use the continuous tenses, but they don't have the same meaning. Have the same structure, not the same meaning. Okay. Background means that, how can I say, de fondo, right? And ongoing means that sucediendo, okay? Llevándose a cabo, right? It's different. For example, I was taking a shower when the phone rang. The phone rang. That's the main thing, the main situation. And then I was taking a shower is a background situation. Oh, what I said, right? What else? I'll be taking pictures. I'll be taking pictures when I am on my trip. I'll be taking pictures is a background situation. I'm on my trip. Well, that's the main idea, the main action, the main event. Hope is clear. Background means the fondo, okay? All right. Okay, let's get going with that. Oh, thanks to you. That's good to hear that. Okay, let's get going with the perfect tenses, right? We have present. Let's get started first with the present. We have present perfect. Present perfect, okay? We use the present perfect when? Oh, when we talk about actions or events which started in the past and are still relevant for the present. It means, relevant means that they can still happen in the present, can be repeated in the present, or are still valid. Okay, so that's a present perfect. Okay. There you go. So actions or events which started in the past, right? They started in the past. And they are still relevant for the present. It means that they can still happen, they can be repeated, or they are still valid. For example, if I say something like, oh, I have worked here for 3 years. I have worked here for 3 years. We have the auxiliary have, right? When we talk about the present perfect, we use the auxiliary have or has. We use have for I with you, they. We use has for he, she, and it. Okay? All right. So when I say I have worked here for 3 years, it means that 3 years ago I started working, but I am still here. So it started in the past and I'm still here. So it's still valid in the present. I can say I have visited uh, London twice this year. Mhm. I have visited London twice this year. Mhm. So it means I visited London 2 times in the past, but it can be repeated. It can be repeated again. Can be repeated, right? Because the year is not over. Well, once the year is over, it cannot be repeated, right? Because I cannot say I have visited twice this year. I will say I visited twice last year. But meanwhile, the year is still on, so it can be repeated. And I say I have visited London twice this year. Okay? I can also say, mm, I have seen that movie before. I have seen that movie before. So it means that I can still see it again, right? I saw it, but I can see it again. Okay. All right. Mhm. So as you can see, we use the auxiliary have plus the past participle of the past participle. In this case, the past participle worked is regular. Visited is regular. See, saw, seen is irregular. Mhm. Okay? Now, when we make this negative form, well, when we make it a negative form, we use the negative form of the auxiliary. In this case, the negative form of have is haven't, and the negative form of has is hasn't. So I said, I haven't seen that movie yet. I haven't seen that movie yet. In this case, I'm using the word yet. We're going to talk about the use of yet, already, still in a little bit more, right? Well, in another class. I don't think it will be enough time in this class, but in another class. So we use haven't. Mhm. And we use hasn't. He hasn't. Mhm. He hasn't done it yet. He hasn't done it yet. We will make it a question. Well, we say follow the same structure. We can say, what have you done lately? What have you done lately? Right? Or we can say, have you finished yet? Have you finished yet? Mhm. Question, okay? Auxiliary, person, verb. Since the auxiliary is have or has, we use the verb in participle. Have you finished? Auxiliary, person, verb. Okay? Hope so, right? I hope so. Any doubt? No doubts. Yes. Do you have any doubts? Let me know. All right. Then we have the past perfect. The last one was the present perfect simple. And this one is past perfect simple. Okay? Then we're going to see future perfect simple. And then we want to see present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and future perfect continuous. Okay? Before we go to the first activity of the day. So this is past perfect. Well, past perfect is used to talk about an action or event which happened before another one in the past. So it means there is an action in the past. There is an action in the past. It happened in the past, and then something else happened before that. Something else happened before, right? And to talk about that thing that happened before, we use the past perfect. I'm gonna give you some examples. For example, today I woke up. I took a shower. I cooked breakfast. I ate. I started my class. Now, these 5 activities, the 5 activities are in the past. The 5 activities are in the past. I woke up is finished. I did it already. Took a shower, I did it already. Cook breakfast, I did it already. I ate, I did it already. I started my class, I did it already. The 5 of them are completed actions. Now, what happened if I talk about in the same sentence, I have I woke up and I have I took a shower? Well, one thing happened before and one thing happened after, right? What happened before? I woke up. That was the first activity. The second activity is I took a shower, right? So the first activity, the activity which happened before, goes in past perfect. For example, I had woken up before I took a shower. I had woken up before I took a shower. Woken up, had woken up is the first activity, so that one goes in past perfect. Took a shower is the second activity, it goes in simple past. Okay? Try another. I had taken a shower before I cooked breakfast. Had taken a shower is the first activity. Cook breakfast is the second. So had taken a shower goes in past perfect. I had cooked breakfast before I ate. Had cooked breakfast is the first activity, so it goes in past perfect. I ate is the second, so it goes in simple past. The last one. Mhm. I had eaten before I started. Okay, that's a way. Okay, so far so good. Okay, okay. In the chat right now, I want you to do the same. Okay, first of all, I want you to send me 4 activities. Write on the chat 4 activities. What had is necessary? Of course, it's necessary. If you don't have had, it is not past perfect. Mhm. It is not past perfect. You need to have had because that is a past perfect. It's the auxiliary. You said, I have woken up. Mhm. Had and the past participle. In Spanish, probably we don't say it like that. But in English, it has to be like that. In Spanish, there is no problem. You say, me levanté antes de tomar un baño. Antes de tomar un baño. It's different. But in English, you say, I have woken up, me había levantado, before I took a shower. Antes de que tome un baño. That's the way you say it. You use the past perfect, you need to use had and the past participle. Okay? All right, so I was saying, please, here on the chat, I need you to write 4 activities, 4 things you did today before the class. Anything. You can say, I woke up, I took a shower, I brushed my teeth, I got dressed, I checked my mail, I checked Facebook. First, write 4. First, first, only write 4 things you did before the class. Okay? Here on the chat, please. All right, Isabel. The sentences are all right in the majority. The problem is the second sentence that says, my daughter was going to watching TV. In these second sentences, you might say, my daughter was going to watch, no to watching, because you're saying to. So if you're saying to, you cannot say watching. You only say watch. Okay? My daughter was going to watch TV while I was cooking breakfast. Uh, in this case, my daughter was going to is the background situation. And I was cooking breakfast is not a background situation. I'm going to write it here on the board so you can see how the sentence should be, Isabel. It should be, my daughter was going to, and this was going to means an intention of doing something, okay? To watch TV, and then if you use while I cooked breakfast. That's how it should be, okay? Because one is the background situation and the other one is the event. So if the background situation is your daughter was going to, then that one goes in past continuous, and the other one goes in simple past. Both of them cannot be background situation. One needs to be the background and the other one the event happened. Okay? Now, you can switch it. You can say, my daughter was watching TV or my daughter watched TV while I was cooking breakfast. Okay? Then I have visited my parents before I ate, okay, my scrambled eggs. And the last sentence, I had looked for clothing before I took a bath. That was good. Okay, I have brushed my teeth before eating. Okay, I had breakfast before taking the class. In the second one, Nick, it should be I had breakfast before taking the class. And the last one, Nick, should be I had woken up before the alarm rang. It needs to be in past perfect. I had breakfast. I had woken up. Okay? Let me see. Let me see because I cannot read the others. Let me see. Okay. Rene, I woke up at 7. Even I'm on vacation. I have my breakfast. I watch TV. I started my English. Okay, thank you. And then we have, okay, I woke up. Okay, perfect. Okay, now, Rene, with those sentences, I need you to write sentences with past perfect and simple past, like Isabel and Ite. Okay? Okay, pretty good. So I know, Nite, that sometimes this topic is confusing. It's confusing because in Spanish there is no difference. In Spanish, we can say things in simple past, but in English, not. In English, we need to use past perfect for something and simple past for other things. Now, remember, this is a preparation for an exam. And in the exam, the majority of the questions is about identifying how should the correct sentence should be, right? How should it be? The correct sentence, not a sentence like it can be understood, because I know it can be understood the way Nipe or Isabel wrote it. It can be understood, but we want to write it properly. We want to write it correctly. We want to use the correct grammar, the correct words. And this is the way it should be done. The other way you did it probably is understandable, but it's not correct. And this is correct. Okay? So far, so good. If you have any doubts, ask me. If not, we are going to get going to the future perfect. Future perfect. Mhm. When we talk about the future perfect, we talk about things, actions, or events which will be completed at a specific moment in the future. Mhm. Actions, events which will be completed at a specific moment in the future. Mhm. That is the future perfect. Uh-huh. Example. Mhm. For example, when I say, usually for the future perfect, we use the time expression by, right? By, and we say by this time, mhm, by next week, mhm, by 2 o'clock. Mhm. So we use that. And it means by that time, by that specific time in the future. Okay? For example, I will have arrived by 4:30. I will have arrived by 4:30. I will have arrived. Okay? That means that by that time, it will be done. It will be completed. Okay? It can be completed before, yes, but by that time, it will surely, certainly be complete. All right? I can say another one. For example, we won't have been ready by tomorrow. Okay? We won't have been ready by tomorrow. So it won't happen. By that time, tomorrow, it won't happen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When we make it, well, this is a very specific structure. Usually, this structure is not considered in the B2 level. It's more for a C1 level, okay? But it's probably going to be in the exam. Mhm. Because in the exam, we have grammar structure from B1, sorry, from A1 to C2. So it probably will be in the exam, or certainly will be there. Will you have finished, or will you have moved by this afternoon? Mhm. And that's the other one. Will you have moved by this afternoon? Mhm. And that's the way. Okay. So we use will, then auxiliary will have will be there, and past participle of the verb. Okay. So will have and past participle of the verb. Will manages everything, not have, only will. The past participle, of course. Okay? All right, perfect. Okay, and with this, we have reviewed the perfect, continuous, and simple tenses of the past, future, and present. Okay, present, future, and past. Okay, now we are going to do some other activities. Let me show you. We're gonna do another activity. Wait. A minute, let me show you the activity. Any other question up to here, everyone? Ask me. Oh, he's right here. Okay, Esel, you were going to ask something. No? Okay, so we have this activity right here. In this activity right here, we're going to use what we have been talking this morning. Okay, listen. This is going to be for homework. Okay, this is going to be for homework. We're going to do something else right now, but this will be for homework. Okay, so what you have here are some questions. You see? And I need you to complete these questions. The part that says complete the questions, use the forms on the left with the verbs in parentheses. And you have the questions and some words are missing. And you need to complete the words, okay, for homework, okay? I'll send you this. I'll send you this picture, okay, to your cell phones. So you can check it. You can answer it on your notebook or and answer it, okay? And then you send me a picture, okay? Okay? Doubts about the homework? No? I'm going to change the page. Oh, I will send you everything, Rene. I will send you the whole page in the picture. Is what we just did. This is what we have been talking about. This is what we have been talking about up to right now. Okay? Okay, got it. Good. All right, let's get going. So let's continue on. See. We're going to do some reading comprehension, okay? Before we continue on. All right. As I said, in the exams, you are not required to read that much. In the Cenni 1 year, you're required to read just some lines, probably 4 or 5 lines, and in the Cenni 5 years, very small paragraph. Okay, right here we have highlights, stories. Before we start, does anyone know the meaning of the word highlights? Do you guys know what highlights mean? No? Nobody? Okay, well, highlights is the most important, okay? So when it says, oh, a highlight in my life, it means the most important in my life. So we have here some people. And these people is talking about their highlights in their current years. It says we interview people and ask, what are some of the highlights of your life so far? We have Jenny, 35, from Vancouver, Canada. She's a high school teacher. We have Marcus, Belo Horizonte, Brazil. He's a college student. And we have Jingwei and Sheng, 25 and 27. They are from Beijing, China. They are designers and a graduate student. Okay? All right. This is going to work if you are right now online and paying attention, but if not, it's not going to work. So hopefully you are all here. So look, I'm going to ask you a question, and you just need to tell me the name of the person. You need to read quickly. And tell me the name of the person. Okay? Listen. Who of these three is coaching a soccer team? Read quickly and tell me the name of a person. Marcus, thank you, Isabel. Yes, that's true. Who of these three was working, volunteering to rebuild houses? Who of these three was working volunteering to rebuild some houses? G. Yes, that's right, Jenny. Okay. Now, who of these three uh, is studying a PhD? Well, who of these four? Sorry, right? They are four. Sorry. Sheng. Excellent. Who of these four got a job at a designing company or a fashion company? Jingwei. Yes, great. Who of these three, uh, who of these four, sorry, doesn't know what to do in the future? Doesn't know what to do in the future. Jing? No. Who of these four doesn't know what to do in the future? Marcus, yes, that's right. Okay, so what we have done right now is reading comprehension. This type of activities are scanning. Mhm. Scanning. Even though, even though the exam doesn't have a lot of or extensive reading, it doesn't have expense text, it's very difficult that sometimes students or candidates taking the exams have a hard time in reading. Why? Because usually what we do when we get to the reading part in the exam is that we see the reading and we start reading, right? And we read everything. And then we go to the questions. And then we read the first question and go back to the text and look for the question. Well, sorry, look for the answer. And we lose time because we read all the text and then we read the question and we double read the text. And then we go to the second question and we look for the second answer. And then we look for the fourth question or the third question and the third answer. And we're losing time. And all the exams are timed, all of them. You have limited time. So in the exam, before before you start reading text, go to the question. First, read the question. And then after you read the question, you scan the text and look for the answer. And then you read the second question, and then you go back to the text and look for the second answer. And if at the end you still have time, you can read the complete text. But usually in the exam, you would better scan and skim. What is skimming? Mhm. Skimming. We are going to do more, Rene, but we cannot spend a lot of time on reading because it's not that difficult in the exam. I insist. Reading is, you will see the exam by Saturday, but it's not really long list of reading. So we cannot spend that much time on that, okay? Because it's not necessary, okay? But we are going to continue doing it, okay? So as I said, skimming is, sorry, skimming is getting the general idea. In order to get the general idea, sometimes the questions in the exam are, what does the author mean? Or why do they do that? Or so, right? So when the question is about general idea of the global understanding of the text, you don't need to read everything. Let's say that you have 8 lines or 4 lines in a paragraph, right? So what you have to do is to read the first and the last line, only that. You read the first line and the last line of each paragraph. And you only read the first and the last line, and you try to make yourself an idea of what the text is about. That is skim. Okay, so in the exam, it's better if you use scanning and skim. Scanning is what we just did. What did you do? I ask you a question, and you look for keywords, specific words. And when you look for the keyword, you found it and you said, oh, this is the answer. And that is scanning. When you go over the text and you look for specific words. The skimming is when you get the general idea. To do so, you read the first line and the last line of each text. And if you have, of each paragraph, sorry. And if you still have time, oh, well, then you can read everything. Like, for example, right now, we still have time. We are not in a hurry, so we can read everything. It says, Jamie, 35, Vancouver, Canada, high school teacher. Please follow in your computers the reading. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to read it, and you follow it, please. It's all. I've been pretty lucky up until now. For one thing, I've traveled a lot. I lived in Italy a couple of years ago. That was amazing. Then after Italy, I went to Central America and worked with a team of volunteers. We were rebuilding homes after a major earthquake for 2 months. It was hard work, but so rewarding. Life has definitely been interesting so far. Marcus, 25, Belo Horizonte, Brazil, college student. I've done some interesting things in the last few years. I started a band the year before last, thought it didn't last. We broke up after 6 months, but it was fun. And I've been coaching a local soccer team for the last 2 years. That's been good. We've won most of our matches. I still haven't decided what I want to do after I graduate. I haven't thought too much about it yet, but that's okay. Jingwei, 25, and Chen, 27, Beijing, China, designer and graduate student. Well, I haven't really done anything except work over the last few years. We met when we were in college. Chen was getting his master and I was studying design. Then Chen started his PhD. Since then, he's just been concentrating on school. Jingwei got an internship at a fashion company last year. That was a big thing for her. You've been enjoying it so far, haven't you? Okay, great. Any doubt, question about these three paragraphs? No doubts or questions? You have doubts? We're going to get going. Okay, let's get going. All right, all right. Mhm. Okay, good. It says, talking about the past. Let me make this bigger. That was, that was it. It says, find the sentences below in the interviews. Oh my goodness, sorry. Find the sentences below in the interviews. Do they refer to a completed past time or a past time that continues up to now? Write C or N, then read the grammar chart. Okay? I want you to tell me here on the chat. Write, please. Oh my goodness, sorry. Write, please. Okay? If it is completed, write C. If it continues up to now, write N. Number one, after Italy, I went to Central America. C or N? What do you think? Yes, it's C because it's completed. She went and that was it. Life has definitely been interesting. Yes, it's N, René. Very good because it can be repeated. I started a band the year before last. Number three. Uh, no. Number three is C, complete, because he started the band. He started, it's over. He started, the band is going, but started is something completed. Since then, he's been concentrating in school. What do you think? Yes, yes, that's true. Yeah, it's something that continues up to now. Excellent. Good job. Okay. Now, as you can see, the ones that have the letter C, the ones that are completed, are in past, in simple past. And the ones that continue up to now are in present perfect, right? Present perfect continues up to now. Simple past is complete, okay? For example, we have over there the grammar extra, okay? And we have, it says, use the past tense for situations and events that are part of a completed past, not connected to now. For example, I live in Italy. I'm not there now. The band didn't last. We broke after 6 months. It's not continued now. Use the present perfect for situations and events that are part of the past time that continues up to now. For example, that has been interesting so far. It still is. Mark just hasn't decided what he wants to do. He still hasn't decided. Use simple verbs for completed events or permanent situations. Use continuous verbs for background, ongoing, or temporary events or situations. For example, Marcos' band broke up. I've been pretty lucky. We were rebuilding homes. He's been coaching a soccer team. Okay? Okay, now we need to complete these sentences. Here on the chat, complete the conversations with an appropriate form of the verbs given. Sometimes more than one option may be possible. Have you had any interesting opportunities in the last couple of years? Last year, I yes, I joined in past, right? In past, because it's something that happened, is completed. Since then, we have competed. No, have been competed is not correct. Have been competed, have been competed. Hemos estado competido. Hemos estado competido, como que no suena bien. But hemos competido. That's correct, Isabel. Good job, Isabel. Okay. At several events. But so far, this is negative. Haven't won. We haven't won. Excellent. We haven't won. All right, next. Have you traveled much over the last few years? Well, number 2. Well, I haven't gone anyway last year. Haven't gone. Okay, both of you say haven't gone before. Last year, it says, I haven't gone, you said haven't gone away last year. But look, last year is still going, is a present complement or is past, is over. last year. Is it still going or is in the past? Yes, the correct answer is didn't go because it says last year, and last year is over. So we might say I didn't go away last year because it's completed. Okay? But the year before, when I studied, let's see, when I studied geography in college, we took a trip to Alaska. Okay, look, take it easy. One of these is a background situation, and one of these is the main event. The background situation needs to go in continuous form, and the main event needs to go in simple past. What is the background situation? What is the situation that happened in a period of time? Study geography or take a trip? Yes, the background situation is study geography. So it's when I was studying geography in college, we took a trip to Alaska. Yes. That, next one, that that was fun. Yes. I, since then, haven't traveled much since then. Haven't traveled much since then. Mhm. Okay, next one. What's been the highlight of your year so far? Actually, up until now, anything special. Up until now. Up until now, remember, I haven't done, yes, anything special because I so busy with school. I have been so busy with school. Yes, I on my thesis all year. I have worked on my thesis all year. So I haven't had, yes, much time for anything else. Yes. I break last weekend. I took a short break last weekend, yes. Though, and I The last one? When hiking, but that's all. Perfect. Good job, everyone. Good job. The number 3 was everything correct. Perfect. Very good job. All right. So we're going to stop right here today and we're going to continue tomorrow. I'm going to create a WhatsApp group. In the WhatsApp group, you 3 are going to be there. I'm going to be there. And I'm going to send you the homework there. Okay. So you can check the homework, do the homework, take a picture, and send me the picture. Okay? All right. Well, that's everything for today. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, I said I will send you the homework to the WhatsApp group.